Hi, everyone. It's Paula Kettula here. I am a licensed clinical social worker and a transformational parenting coach. I wanted to make you this video today to tell you why leadership is absolutely vital in parenting. And I did not realize until about a year and a half ago when I myself attended a transformational leadership program. Up until then, I was always wondering what is it that is required in parenting so that parents can be really effective with their children, because it is so important. I absolutely value the important role of parents. It's like, imagine our future generation depends on how the kids are parented. And being in the field of mental health for 20 years, working with children and families, and having a private practice for over 11 years, I have lots of experience working with kids and families. And I was sometimes really frustrated. And I know parents were frustrated too, because they just felt like, okay, nothing is changing. We have all these parenting sessions and nothing is changing, and things are still, I'm still being triggered. I'm still frustrated. I still don't understand my kids. They are still dysregulated. They are still disrespecting. They're still doing all these things. So I've been racking my brain about, like, what is the missing ingredient? Like, what gets to be brought into the world of parenting so that this issue can be solved once and for all. And when I was going through this leadership for training myself, I had an aha moment. I'm like, wow, this is what's missing with parents is leadership. So instead of being empowering, parents tend to be controlling or engaging in power struggles or nagging. Instead of being inspiring, they just try to spearhead and force things through. Instead of being super motivational, sometimes it's a lot of guilt trips and things like that I use to try to motivate the child. And guess what? That just doesn't work. So, my invitation for you today is to stop all that, listen to this video where I share the basic principles, the framework that I have developed that will help you to become inspiring, influential, confident, and empowering leader in your family so that you can create exceptional relationships with your children. And guess what happens? What have you been hearing from all the parenting experts in the world about relationship and attachment and connection? That's the number one factor for children to be able to thrive in school, socially. Kids who have secure attachment, they have good careers, they are just thriving in life in general. They get to become who they are meant to become. They get to follow their passions. And I know that every parent that I speak with, that's what they want for their kids. But what comes in the way? Our own parenting paradigm, our own blueprint that comes from our parents, the way we were parented, and we just keep repeating that same old cycle that is ineffective and it doesn't work. And the sad thing is that so many, almost every parent that I talk to, they know this. They know, like, yeah, I should not be yelling at my kid. I shouldn't be threatening, but I still keep doing it. So I'm here to end that cycle because it does not work. And the rift between you and your child just keep getting bigger and bigger. And when they grow up, they don't want to have anything to do with their parents. So right now, whatever age your child is a really good time to urgently, like starting today, to start making these changes. And I believe that the solution, the answer is to really develop your own leadership skills. You don't have to rely on the child to change. You don't need any circumstances to change. You don't need the pandemic to end, even though we want to. But in order for you to start making these changes, you don't have to rely on anybody else other than yourself. And that's what I'm here to tell you, because it's a really, really exciting message so that you can develop those exceptional relationships. You can live a vision driven life versus living in scarcity, living in a survival mode. So you can go from surviving to thriving, and so that you can have this 10 out of 10 relationship with your children, and you can clear out your own past so that you are not triggered anymore, because it's that being triggered that is coming in the way of you actually meeting the developmental needs of your children. So this is what it's all about. Let me see if I can. I'm doing this for the first time, so you gotta excuse me. You know what? It's backwards, isn't it? Okay, never mind. We are going to scratch that plan, and I'm just gonna tell you what the steps are until I can figure out how to actually get this image to flip. So, the first pillar of my transformational parenting framework is to live your life through vision. It all starts with that. Nothing in this world, even this little pen, would not exist unless we had a vision. So first there gets to be an idea of a life that you want to live, idea for the family that you want to have, and also the person who you want to be. See, the thing is, you get to decide that. You get to powerfully choose who you are and how you show up in this world. So many parents are having this experience of just being confused, like drifting here and there and everywhere, not knowing where to go, not having a roadmap. When we have a vision, we know exactly where we are going. All we need to know is like, okay, what is my next step? So I like to say that it kind of becomes like the North Star that we see up in the sky when it's dark and we don't know where we are going, but we see the star. This is why vision is so important. So pillar number one is to live a vision driven life. And that's what I do with the families that I work with. We create a beautiful vision for the family. It's the entire family is involved with that. And also parents have their own visions for the kind of parent that they want to be and the kind of parent that they want to become. So you can really identify the principles and values that are important in your life, and that you can live from that place. You can live a principle and value driven life, and those are your anchors. Those are the things that ground you and guide your behaviors, guide your actions, versus limiting beliefs, circumstances, psychological assessment, and getting in analysis paralysis. Okay, so it all starts with the vision. Now, the vision will only be a fantasy unless we also engage in committed action. So, pillar number two is engaging in committed action. So, can you imagine this? When you have this beautiful vision, and then what's going to happen when you align everything that you say, everything that you do, you align that with your vision. So it is impossible for your vision not to come through. It's going to come through. It's going to happen. You're going to manifest it literally when every step that you take every day, you are committed to your vision, and that becomes your number one priority. So I talk about becoming a pro parent, which means that like you're like a pro athlete. You're just going to show up every day no matter what. You know, pro athletes, they don't go, we just had the Olympics, so they don't go like, you know what, I don't feel like competing today. Nope. They are going to show up no matter what. So you get to be so committed that you become a pro parent, and that you make a commitment to the commitment, because so many times we're just yes, 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 we're going to do this, but then we don't. So closing the back doors and making a commitment to create this vision, to create this life that you want. So in this step, we learn different things like how to shift from feeling states and how to have a solid plan in place, really a step by step process, so that you have these structures in place. You can't get lost in that. You cannot get lost because you have some guidelines and you have all the answers that you need. The third pillar is responsibility. So this pillar is all about shifting out of blame, shame, anger, guilt, all those negative feeling states like that drag us down. Anytime we are operating from those feeling states, what we are operating from is victim mentality. We can never ever create anything from victim mentality. That is why in my program I teach level 4 responsibility, which means we are responsible for everything that happens in our lives. And responsibility is empowering because now I am not a victim to whatever so and so says, or whoever does or doesn't do this, or whatever the circumstance is, that I am the author and the creator of my own life. And it is, if it is to be, it's up to me. And in transformational language, when we say we are responsible for everything, there is no guilt, there is no shame, there's no blame. So the responsibility that I am talking about is elevated, it's beyond all that, so that you can actually let go of all those negative feeling state that just drags you down. And the important step in this stage is also to look at your past and to really do the work and be committed to the work to clear your past, so that you're not operating from these limited beliefs, but you are operating from your vision. And I teach parents how to do that and to become aware of these limiting beliefs, because unless we are aware of them, we can't even change them. So it's really cool and exciting stuff, because it's truly is liberating. To live a life of responsibility is liberating. And the last step, the final fourth pillar, is how to develop exceptional relationships. So this step is all about how to develop 10 out of 10 relationships with your children, with your partner, and with other family members as well. So there's tons of tools that I give around this, and I'll just mention a few of them, which is like how to develop win-win situations where life is a win-win for everybody. At least that's what we strive for. We are not in a win-lose situation or lose-lose situation or anything like that, but we actually intentionally, consciously step into a very beautiful, creative, synergistic world of creating win-wins. And when we just have that mindset of win-win, we are already thinking outside the box, and we are generous. We are not focusing on, this is what I need, and this is, so many times we make it about ourselves. But really, to develop exceptional relationships, that 10 out of 10 relationship requires this mindset of abundance, mindset of win-win, mindset of both and I even say and how many ands can we add to this versus either or. See, we are programmed and we are domesticated like Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. and his father talk about this domestication, where our mind is pretty much brainwashed to live in a survival mode, to live mediocre lives, to live out of a place of scarcity instead of place of like, wow, I'm going to create a life worth living. I'm going to create exceptional relationship and absolutely amazing family. We don't go for that automatically. So to develop this relationship requires different tools, different mindset, and the way you are showing up for your children is also different, because you get to show up as compassionate, empathetic, learning to understand before being understood, and really learn this deep listening, deep listening. So with those four ingredients, with those four pillars, living a vision driven life, engaging in committed action, assuming responsibility, and developing exceptional relationship. That actually spells out lead, which is why I wanted to use the board to show you that. That means now you can lead your life from your heart, from your intention, from your love, from your compassion, you are in charge. Well, you can become that influential parent whose child has respect for you, who adores you so much that they would do anything for you. This is, if guys, listen to me here. It doesn't come automatically. Just because you are a parent, it doesn't mean that your child is just poof gonna love you, poof is they're gonna respect you, poof they're gonna do what you ask them to do. They are beautiful human beings with very deep souls, and we are their guardians. And we have a responsibility not only to the child in front of us, but to the humanity in general, to create absolutely fantastic human beings who can really live in their freedom, really step into the shoes that they are born into, and they get to grow into those, so that this world can be full of peaceful citizens, loving, kind, attentive citizens who are all about collaboration and altruism, who are there to support each other. And that is how you, my dear parent, also change the generations down the line. Because when you start parenting and showing up to your child in a different way, guess what they are going to do to their children? That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. So that you don't only parent that little kid in front of you, but you're parenting generations down the line. So I have a structured process to do all this. And as a result of that, you can actually experience fulfillment. You have the possibility for that. You have a possibility to transform your entire life experience. So I hope that this video serves you. Write me comments if you have any questions. And you can also check out my work and check out more about me at transformationalparent.com, and stay tuned here. I'll be popping in and really talking more about all these steps and filling in the gaps, and really I want to pour into you, and I want to give you the tools so that you can transform into this confident, inspiring, and empowering parent leader. Have a great day now.